telling you this because Dr. Sharma says I need to externalize the narrative. That's what she calls it, like I'm making it up, like it's something I can just put outside myself and leave there. But I'll try. New Year's Eve, 2023. I was supposed to be at Marcus's party in Williamsburg, the good one, rooftop access, catered by that Korean-Mexican fusion place. But I'd fucked up the RSVP and they'd hit capacity. So there I was at 10:47 p.m. walking along Pier 17 in the seaport, wearing a North Face puffer that was too thin for the wind coming off the East River, drinking a bodega coffee that had gone cold 20 minutes ago. The cup still had the blue and white Greek design, those repeating geometric patterns. I remember thinking the paper was getting soggy where my thumb pressed against it. The pier was busy, but not packed. Couples doing that pre-midnight thing where they're already acting like the kiss is coming. A few families with kids who'd be asleep by 11:30. Street. Vendors selling those cheap light-up toys, plastic wands with LEDs inside that cycled through red, green, blue. One vendor, older guy, with a gray members-only jacket, was playing music from a Bluetooth speaker, some Spanish language station with a lot of horns. I had my phone out. I was on the Citizen app, watching the little red dots multiply across Manhattan. Fireworks complaints, mostly some drunk and disorderlies. My battery was at 34%. I'd forgotten to charge it before leaving my apartment in Astoria. Stupid. The plan was simple. Watch the ball drop on my phone. FaceTime my sister in Portland. She'd promised to stay up, even though it would be 9 p.m. her time. Then catch the Q train back before the real chaos started. I had work the next day, yes, on New Year's Day, because Con Ed doesn't give a shit about your hangover when a substation needs monitoring. I found a spot near the railing right by one of those coin-operated binocular things. Bolted to the ground, heavy green, metal, completely coated in those I Hearts NY stickers and graffiti tags. To my left, maybe 15 feet away, was a woman in a red pea coat taking selfies with the Brooklyn Bridge in the background. She kept adjusting her angle, trying to get the lights just right. To my right, farther down, a dad was holding his daughter on his shoulders. She was maybe 4, wearing a princess crown made of that cheap gold plastic that catches the light. 11:03 p.m., that's when I first saw him. He was standing perfectly still about 30 feet down the pier, closer to the entrance. Not leaning against anything, not on his phone. Just standing, facing out toward the water, which, okay, people do that. People stare at the river. But something about his posture was wrong. He was wearing a black overcoat, wool, expensive looking, the kind with a belt that's actually sewn into the fabric, dark jeans, brown leather dress shoes that looked too nice for the weather, no hat. His hair was dark and neat. From where I stood, I could see his profile. White guy, maybe 45, clean shaven. He could have been waiting for someone, except he wasn't checking his phone, wasn't looking around. His hands were at his sides, not in his pockets, just hanging there. I watched him for maybe 40 seconds. He didn't move, didn't shift his weight, didn't adjust his collar against the wind. The wind was really picking up. I had to hold my coffee cup with both hands to keep the spray from blowing back on me, but his coat didn't even flutter. Then he turned his head. Not his body, just his head, very slowly, until he was looking directly at me. His eyes were open too wide. That's the detail I keep coming back to, like he was forcing them open, like he was trying not to blink We made eye contact for maybe 3 seconds. Then he turned back to face the water. Same position. Hands at his sides. Perfectly still. I felt my stomach drop in that specific way it does when you realize you're being watched, when you've accidentally made contact with someone you shouldn't have. I looked down at my phone, refreshed my email for no reason. When I looked up again, he was still there, still frozen. 11:09 p.m. The woman in the red pea coat walked past me, heading toward the food stalls. I heard her heels clicking on the wooden planks of the pier. The dad with the daughter had moved closer to the water, pointing out the boats. Someone's speaker was playing Auld Lang Syne, even though it was still 50 minutes too early. The man in the black coat hadn't moved. I started doing that thing you do when you're trying not to look at something. Checking my phone, looking at the bridge, glancing at the vendor with the light-up toys. But my eyes kept drifting back. Still there. Still frozen. His coat was definitely too nice to be standing outside like that. And his shoes, I could see them more clearly now that I'd moved slightly to the left. They were those Allen Edmonds Oxfords, probably $400. They were getting wet from the spray. 11:14 p.m. A group of teenagers pushed past me, laughing, holding those cardboard 2024 glasses that make your eyes look like zeros. One of them, a girl in a denim jacket covered in patches, bumped into the binocular stand. She didn't apologize. They were all yelling at each other about where to stand for the best view. I looked back at the man. He'd moved. Not much. Maybe 3 feet to his right. But I hadn't seen him move. I'd looked away for 10 seconds? And now he was just there, in a new spot. Same position. Hands at his sides, facing the water. My throat went dry. I took a sip of the cold coffee, immediately regretted it. It tasted like cardboard and artificial sweetener. This time, when he turned his head to look at me, he didn't turn it back. He just kept staring. His mouth was closed. His expression was completely neutral. Not angry, not curious, nothing. Like a mannequin, like something approximating a person. I broke eye contact first. I walked toward the food stalls, moving fast but trying not to look like I was running. There was a table set up selling hot chocolate from one of those big metal thermoses. The woman working it had a Santa hat on. I ordered one, paid with my card, my hands shaking just slightly as I tapped. When I turned around, cup in hand, the man was standing exactly where I had been. By the binoculars. Same position, facing the water. I hadn't seen him move. The pier wasn't empty. There were at least 40 people around. Someone would have noticed. Someone would have said something if a man had just appeared. 11:22 p.m. I stayed by the hot chocolate stand. The woman in the Santa hat was talking to another vendor about overtime pay. I wasn't really listening. I was watching the man. He was still there, still frozen. A couple walked right past him. The woman laughing at something on her phone. They didn't react. Didn't notice anything wrong. Maybe there wasn't anything wrong. Maybe I was just tired. I'd worked a double shift the day before. Maybe he was just some weirdo. New York is full of weirdos. That's not a mystery. But the thing about his eyes, the thing about how he'd moved without moving. I pulled out my phone and opened the camera, zoomed in as much as I could without the image getting too pixelated. He was still there, still staring at the water. I took a photo. The flash didn't go off. I always keep it off. But I saw him in the frame. Black coat, brown shoes, 2 wide eyes. I checked the photo. It was blurry. The zoom had been too aggressive. But you could see him. You could see the outline. I took another one, trying to steady my hand. That's when he turned to look directly at the camera, directly at me, from 30 feet away, through a screen. He smiled. It wasn't a natural smile. His lips pulled back too far. I could see too many teeth. I dropped my phone. It hit the wooden planks with a crack I felt in my chest. The screen didn't shatter, but I heard something rattling inside when I picked it up. The battery was at 28%. When I looked back, he was gone. Not walking away, just gone. The space where he'd been was empty. The couple who'd walked past him were still there, the woman still on her phone. The dad with the daughter was closer now, buying a light-up wand from the vendor. Everything was normal, everything was fine. Except he'd been there. I had photos. I opened my camera roll. The first photo was there, the blurry one. You could see the outline of someone in a dark coat. But the second photo, the one where he looked at the camera, was corrupted. Just a gray square with a little yellow triangle in the corner. Unable to load. 11:31 p.m. I started walking back toward the entrance. I needed to leave. I needed to be somewhere with more people, more light. The Q train, home, anywhere but here. But the pier felt longer than it had when I'd walked down it. I passed the hot chocolate stand again. No, that didn't make sense. I was moving away from it. But there it was, the woman in the Santa hat, now arguing with a customer about change. I passed the coin-operated binoculars. Passed them again. The graffiti tags were the same. Make 2024 real. TIFF plus Jason. Someone had scratched lies into the metal. The lights on the pier seemed dimmer. The music from the vendor's speaker was distorted now, warping like a cassette tape running out. People were moving around me, but they seemed slower. Or I was moving faster. The daughter with the crown was crying, pointing at something I couldn't see. Then I saw him again. He was standing at the entrance to the pier, right in the middle of the walkway, facing me this time. Hands at his sides. That same too wide smile. Between us, the crowd was thinning. Or maybe they were walking around him, moving through him. I couldn't tell. The wind had stopped. I couldn't feel it anymore, couldn't feel anything except the weight of my phone in my pocket and the too fast beating of my heart. He started walking toward me. Not normal walking. His legs moved, but his upper body stayed perfectly rigid. Like he was on a track. Like something was pulling him. His shoes made no sound on the wood. His eyes never blinked. Never left mine. 20 feet. 15 feet. 10. I could see details now that I didn't want to see. His skin was too smooth, too tight, like latex stretched over something else. His coat wasn't moving with his body. It was like it was painted on. And his smile, God, his smile, the corners of his mouth were pulled back so far I could see the pink of his gums, see where his lips were starting to split. 5 feet. I ran. Shoved past someone, heard them yell, didn't care. Ran toward the street, toward the lights of the Seaport Mall, toward anything that wasn't him. My phone was bouncing in my pocket. My breath was coming in short gasps that burned my throat. Behind me, I didn't look, but I knew. He was following, not running, just walking. That same mechanical glide. I made it to the street, Fulton Street. There were more people here, crowds moving toward the waterfront for the fireworks. I pushed into them, let them swallow me, looked back. He was standing at the edge of the pier, right at the boundary between the wooden planks and the concrete sidewalk. He wasn't moving anymore, just standing, watching. That split-lipped smile. Someone bumped into me, a guy in a Yankees jacket, drunk, laughing, spilling beer from a plastic cup. He said something I didn't hear. I pushed past him. They kept walking. Didn't run, running would draw attention, but walked fast, head down, hands shaking. At some point, the crowd got thicker. I was near City Hall. The subway entrance was just ahead. I could see the green globe light, the stairs leading down, safety, underground, away. I risked one more look back. He was closer, not by much. Maybe 30 feet again, standing in the middle of the sidewalk. People were walking around him but not looking at him. A woman pushing a stroller went right past, didn't even glance up. He was staring at me, still smiling. Then the crowd shifted. Someone's balloon had popped. People were looking up, laughing. And when I looked again, he was gone. 11:47 p.m. I went down into the subway. Didn't stop until I was through the turnstile, down another set of stairs, standing on the platform. There were maybe 20 people waiting for the queue. A couple making out against a pillar. A man in a suit asleep on a bench. An MTA worker sweeping, her radio crackling with dispatcher chatter. Normal. Everything was normal. The countdown was happening above. I could hear it, muffled through the ceiling, through the layers of concrete and steel. 10, 9, 8. My phone buzzed. My sister, FaceTime, I'd forgotten. I answered. Her face filled the screen, pixelated, smiling. She was wearing a paper crown. Behind her, her husband was opening champagne. "Happy New Year," she yelled. The audio was delayed. Her mouth moved before I heard the words, 7, 6, 5. I tried to smile, tried to say something. My mouth was too dry. 4, 3, 2. Behind my sister, in her living room in Portland, through the window behind their couch, I saw him. Standing in their yard, black coat, too wide smile, staring directly at the camera, directly at me. 1, Happy New Year. The call dropped. Poor connection flashed across my screen. The battery was at 4%. The Q train pulled into the station. I didn't go to work the next day. I called in sick, stayed in my apartment, checked my phone every 10 minutes. The corrupted photo was still corrupted. The other one was too blurry to show anyone. What would I even say? I called my sister 2 days later, asked if anything strange had happened New Year's Eve. She laughed. Said no. Why? Said they'd gone to bed right after midnight, both of them too tired. From the flight back from visiting her in-laws. I asked if she'd been home when we FaceTimed. She paused. What do you mean? We didn't FaceTime on New Year's. You didn't answer when I called? I checked my call log. The last call from her was December 30th. I went back to the seaport a week later. Daytime. Brought a friend, Rachel, from work. Didn't tell her why, just said I wanted to get lunch at that place near the water. We walked the whole pier. I tried to find the spot where he'd been standing. The binoculars were still there. The graffiti was the same. Make 2024 real. But there was something else now. Scratched into the metal, fresh, the edges still bright. You looked. Rachel didn't see it. I pointed it out. She squinted. See what? Dr. Sharma says it was a panic attack. Says the stress of working doubles, the isolation of being alone on New Year's, my history of anxiety, it all combined into a dissociative episode. She says the man wasn't real, says the real. FaceTime call, I remember, was a false memory, a confabulation. Says the graffiti was always there, or I'm projecting significance onto random markings. She's probably right. I want her to be right. but I still can't watch the ball drop on TV. I still can't look at photos from that night. Anyone's photos, the official city ones, the ones people post on Instagram, because sometimes in the background, in the crowd, I see a black coat, dark hair, a smile that's just slightly too wide. And I still think about what he was, what he wanted, why he moved the way he did, why he could be in two places at once, on the pier and in my sister's yard, 3,000 miles away, why he stood at the boundary and wouldn't cross, why he smiled when I took his picture. Dr. Sharma says these are questions without answers. Says I need to accept the uncertainty. Says the need for closure is what's keeping me sick. But here's the thing she doesn't understand. The thing I can't make her understand. It's not that I need closure, it's that I already have it. Because 2 weeks ago, I got a notification on my phone. A photo memory. 1 year ago today, my phone had automatically compiled a New Year's Eve album, photos I'd taken at the pier. Most of them I remember taking, the bridge, the water, the crowd. But there was one I didn't remember. Time-stamped 11:59 p.m. Taken from my camera, but I don't remember taking it. It's a selfie. Me in my North Face jacket, hood up, looking tired. The pier behind me, the crowd counting down. And behind my left shoulder, barely visible in the background, too far away to have been in frame, a man in a black coat, standing perfectly still, hands at his sides, looking directly at the camera, smiling. I asked Dr. Sharma what it means, that the photo exists, that it's time-stamped after I'd left the pier, after my phone had died. She didn't have an answer. I still don't know what I saw. I still don't know if he was real. But I know this. Every New Year's Eve at 11:47 p.m., my phone buzzes. No call, no text, no notification I can trace. Just a vibration. 3 short pulses. And I know that somewhere he's standing still, watching, waiting for me to look back. I never do, but one day I will. This is my father's story. He told it to me once. The winter before he died, when I asked him why he never celebrated New Year's Eve. Why he always went to bed at 10 p.m. on December 31st with 2 Ambien and a glass of water, door locked, phone off. Why even decades later he would flinch at the sound of champagne corks. He made me promise not to tell my mother. Said she'd been through enough. So I'm telling you instead. New Year's Eve, 1987. My father, David, 26 years old, fresh off a promotion to junior analyst at Lehman Brothers, was invited to a party in a high-rise on East 86th Street. The building was called the Gramercy, one of those white brick towers that went up in the 70s, 32 floors, doorman in a gray uniform with gold buttons. The party was hosted by a senior partner named Richard Castellano, someone my father had met exactly twice, both times in elevators. The invitation had come via inter-office mail, cream-colored cardstock, embossed, lettering. R. Castellano requests your presence. 14th floor, Aptorina 14C. 9 p.m. onwards, cocktail attire. No RSVP number, no +1 mentioned. My father almost didn't go. He'd been planning to spend the evening with his girlfriend, Jessica, at her studio apartment in Hell's Kitchen, watching the ball drop on her 13-inch Zenith television while eating Chinese takeout. But Jessica had gotten food poisoning from bad shrimp 2 days before Christmas and was still recovering. She told him to go. Make an impression. Network. All the things you're supposed to do when you're 26 and ambitious and your student loans are drowning you. So he went. He took the 6 train to 86th, and Lex, walked 2 blocks west in the freezing wind. He was wearing his only good suit, a charcoal Brooks Brothers, slightly too big in the shoulders, purchased on his father's Macy's card. White shirt, burgundy tie with thin gold stripes. His shoes were Johnston & Murphy Oxfords, recently resoled, the leather creased across the toes in a way that made him self-conscious. He'd splurged on a bottle of Moet from the liquor store on 3rd Avenue. $32. More than he'd spent on groceries that week. The doorman, older black man, name tag reading Ernest, checked a clipboard and waved him through without comment. The lobby was all mirrors and fake marble, a dying fiddle leaf fig in one corner, the smell of pine sol and old carpet. The elevator was slow. It groaned upward, cables creaking, fluorescent light flickering. My father watched the numbers climb. 4, 7, 10, 13, 14. The doors opened. The hallway was dimmer than he'd expected. Yellowish light from sconces shaped like torches, burgundy carpet, the kind that muffles footsteps. There were 4 doors, 14A, 14B, 14C, 14D. He could hear music from somewhere. Don't You Want Me by the Human League, muffled, bass heavy. It seemed to be coming from 14C. He knocked. The door was dark wood with a brass knocker shaped like a lion's head. He knocked 3 times, then waited. No answer. He tried the knob. Unlocked. The door swung inward. The apartment was dark. Not dim. Dark. The only light came from the hallway behind him and a faint glow deeper inside, somewhere past the entryway. The music was louder now, but still muffled, like it was playing in another room with the door closed. The air smelled wrong. Not bad, exactly. Just wrong. Like furniture polish mixed with something organic, something living. Hello? My father's voice cracked slightly. He cleared his throat. Mr. Castellano? No response. He stepped inside. The door swung shut behind him with a soft click. Not a slam, just a click. But the sound of it made his stomach drop. The glow was coming from a room at the end of a long hallway. He could see it now, warm, orangish, flickering slightly. Candles, maybe. He walked toward it, the champagne bottle slick in his sweating hand. His footsteps made no sound on the carpet. As he got closer, he started to hear voices, laughter, the clink of glasses. The party was definitely happening. He'd just come in through the wrong entrance, that was all. He reached the doorway and looked inside. The room was large, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. At least 30 people, all in cocktail attire, holding drinks, talking, laughing. Women in sequin dresses and shoulder pads. Men in suits similar to his. Everyone looked like they belonged in an ad for expensive vodka. The furniture was modern. Low black leather sofas, chrome and glass tables, abstract art on the walls. Candles everywhere, dozens of them, white tapers and silver holders. And everyone was frozen. Not moving slowly, not paused mid-gesture. Frozen, perfectly still. Mouths open mid-laugh. Hands raised holding champagne flutes that caught the candlelight. A woman in a green dress with one leg lifted stepping forward, her heel suspended an inch off the floor. A man in the corner lighting a cigarette. The flame from his silver Zippo frozen in midair, not flickering. My father stood in the doorway for what felt like minutes, but was probably 10 seconds. His brain refused to process it. He blinked, squeezed his eyes shut, opened them again. Everyone was still frozen. The music was still playing. Don't You Want Me had ended. Now it was Come On Eileen. The bass pulsed through the floor, but no one moved. No one reacted. He took a step into the room, then another. He walked past a couple locked in conversation. She had a hand on his arm. He was leaning in close, both of them smiling. Their eyes were open but unfocused, glassy, like taxidermy. "Hello?" His voice sounded too loud. Is this part of something? A performance piece? A prank? That made sense. That was the kind of thing rich people did at parties, right? Weird art stuff. He'd read about it in the Village Voice. He walked up to the woman in the green dress, reached out, touched her arm. Her skin was warm. He could feel a pulse. Slow. Too slow. 1 beat every 5 seconds. He jerked his hand back. That's when he noticed the windows, the view, the city outside. It was daylight. Not dawn, not sunset, midday, bright winter sun. He could see the park, the buildings across the avenue, cars on the street below. All of it bathed in pale January light. But it was 9:15 p.m. It was night. He'd walked here in the dark. He moved to the window, pressed his face against the cold glass, looked down. The street was busy. People walking, taxis driving. Everything moving normally, everything except this room. He pulled back, turned around. The frozen partygoers were still frozen. The woman in green, the man with the lighter. A blonde in a red dress holding a cocktail napkin, her mouth open like she was about to say something hilarious. The music changed. Billie Jean. Michael Jackson. The sound was clearer now. He realized it wasn't coming from a speaker, it was coming from the hallway, from outside this room. He walked back to the doorway, looked out. The hallway was different now. The burgundy carpet was gone. Now it was hardwood, dark and polished. The sconces had changed. They were actual torches now, flames, casting shadows that moved like living things. At the end of the hall, where the elevator should be, there was another door. It was open. Light poured out. Yellow light, too bright, hurting his eyes. He heard a voice, a man's voice, familiar. "David? That you?" Richard Castellano, his boss, sounding confused, sounding close. My father ran, not toward the voice, away from it, back into the room with the frozen people. He moved between them like they were mannequins, trying to find another exit. There had to be another door, a service entrance, a bathroom window, something. He found a hallway off the main room, dark, narrow, more candles. He followed it. It turned left, then right, then left again. It shouldn't have turned this many times. The apartment wasn't that big. He came to a door. Closed. Brass knob. He tried it. Locked. Behind him, footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. Someone walking down the hallway he'd just come through. "David, why are you running?" Castellano's voice. Closer now, right behind him. My father didn't turn around. He slammed his shoulder into the door. Once, twice. The third time it gave, wood splintering, and he fell through. He landed in an elevator. Not the one from the lobby, a different one. Old-fashioned. The kind with the accordion gate you pull across. Dark wood paneling. Brass fixtures. It was moving, descending. The numbers above the door counted down. 14. 13. 12. He looked at the gate. Through it, he could see the floors passing. But they weren't floors. They were rooms. Apartments, scenes, a woman alone at a kitchen table crying, a child's bedroom, empty, the bed made, toys arranged perfectly, an office where a man sat at a desk, not moving, his wrist dark with blood. 11, 10, 9. The elevator was accelerating. My father could feel it in his stomach, that lurching drop. He grabbed the railing. The brass was cold. Too cold, frosted with something white. 8, 7, 6. The scenes were getting worse. He didn't want to look but couldn't stop. A bathroom, a body in a tub, a living room, someone hanging, a bedroom, 2 people, not moving, blue-lipped. 5, 4. His breath was coming out in clouds now. The elevator was freezing. Ice was forming on the paneling, spreading in fern-like patterns. The light was dimming. 3, 2. He closed his eyes. The elevator stopped. Silence, no music, no humming cables, nothing. He opened his eyes. He was in the lobby, the real lobby, mirrors, fake marble, the dying fig. Ernest the doorman standing behind his desk, reading the daily news, not looking up. My father stood there shaking, champagne bottle still in his hand. The bottle was covered in frost. His breath was still visible. But the lobby was warm. He could feel the heat from the radiator by the entrance. Ernest looked up. "You okay, son? You look like you've seen a ghost." "The party," my father managed. 14th floor. What happened?" Ernest frowned. "Party? Ain't no party tonight. 14th floor's been empty since October. Castellano moved out. Went back to Connecticut." My father left the building, walked to the nearest payphone, called Jessica. She answered on the 3rd ring, sounding groggy. He asked her what time it was. She said 9:30. He asked her what day it was. She said December 31st. He asked her to tell him something, anything, real, about her apartment, about her day. She told him about the crack in her ceiling that looked like Florida, about the downstairs neighbor who played saxophone at 3 a.m., about the mold in her shower grout that she kept meaning to clean. He listened until the details felt solid, until the world stopped tilting. He went to her apartment, spent the night on her futon, fully dressed, shoes on, staring at her ceiling. She sat next to him, not asking questions, just being there. At midnight, the city erupted in noise. Fireworks, horns, people shouting from windows. He flinched at every sound. At 12:03 a.m., 1988, he finally spoke. He told her he'd gone to the wrong building, mixed up the address, felt like an idiot. She believed him, or pretended to. The next week, he went back to work. Castellano wasn't there. My father asked around, carefully. Castellano had retired, someone said, moved to Greenwich, sold his place in the city, hadn't been in the office since Thanksgiving. My father requested the personnel files, found Castellano's address. 330 East 79th Street, not 86th, not the Gramercy. He went to the Gramercy anyway. Talked to Ernest, asked about the 14th floor. Ernest looked at him strangely, but pulled out a ledger, pointed to the entries. 14A, occupied the Bernsteins. 14B, occupied Mrs. Chen. 14C, empty since October. 14D, occupied Mr. Orloff. What about 14C? My father asked. Who was there before? Ernest flipped back through the pages, squinted. Lady named Moreau. Evelyn Moreau. She passed. September. Heart attack, I think. They ain't found a new tenant yet. My father asked if anyone had sent him mail, if anyone had left an invitation. Ernest said no. My father kept the invitation, kept it in a lockbox in his closet for 40 years. I found it after he died. Cream-colored cardstock, embossed lettering, everything exactly as he described. Except the address was wrong. The invitation said 330 East 79th Street, Castellano's real address, not the Gramercy, and the date was wrong. The party was listed for December 31st, 1986. Not 1987. I checked his work records. He started at Lehman Brothers in January 1987. He didn't meet Castellano until March. The invitation couldn't have been sent to him in 1986. He didn't work there yet. I called the building, the Gramercy, asked about the Evelyn Moreau. The current management Didn't have records going back that far. I found her obituary online. She died September 14th, 1987. The cause of death was listed as a heart attack. She was 63, survived by no one, no services held, but there was a photo, black and white, grainy, hard to make out details. She was wearing a green dress, sequined, one leg lifted, mid-step. My father never went to another New Year's Eve party. Never explained why to anyone except me. My mother thought it was social anxiety. His friends thought he was just getting old. But I knew. I asked him that last winter why he thought it happened. What he thought it was, he said he didn't know. Said maybe it was a premonition. Maybe he was supposed to die there. Heart attack like Moreau. And something got the timing wrong, got the year wrong, pulled him into the wrong version of the night. Maybe he was supposed to be one of the frozen people. Maybe he already was and just didn't know it yet. Or maybe, and this is what scared him most, maybe he'd never left. Maybe he was still there, in that elevator descending. And every year on New Year's Eve, he got a little closer to whatever was waiting at the bottom. I still have the invitation. I keep it in the same lockbox. I've never shown it to anyone else. I don't celebrate New Year's Eve either now. I've tried. But every year around 9 p.m., I start feeling it. That wrongness in the air, that sense of something waiting. Somewhere on some 14th floor in some building I'll never find, a door is standing open. And every year I wonder, if I went back, if I found the Gramercy, if I took that elevator, would I find him there? Would he still be 26, frozen mid-step, champagne bottle in hand, eyes glassy and unfocused? Or would the elevator open and would I see myself? Would I already be frozen? I don't know. I'll never know. But last week I got something in the mail. Cream-colored cardstock, embossed lettering. My name, my address. No return address. You are invited. 14th floor, Aptiter 14C, December 31st, 2025. 9 p.m. onwards. I threw it away, tore it into pieces, flushed it, but I still have the pieces. I taped them back together. I keep them in my wallet. And tonight, December 31st, I know exactly where I'll be at 9 p.m. standing outside the Gramercy, watching the door, wondering if this year, finally, I'll understand what my father saw, what he couldn't tell me, what waits at the bottom of that long, long fall. The part that stays with me, the part I can't shake, is something he said right at the end when the morphine was making him confused. He grabbed my hand, looked at me with those dimming eyes, and he said, "Don't go. Whatever you do, they're still waiting. They've always been waiting, and they remember your name." I asked him who. He closed his eyes. Everyone who never left. Okay, I'm ready. You said I need to tell it start to finish, right? The whole thing. No skipping parts because they sound crazy. That's the point, you said. So here it is. New Year's Eve, this last one. December the 31st, 2024, I was house sitting for my sister in Tacoma Park. You know, the Maryland side, right outside DC. Her place is this narrow townhouse on Maple Avenue, 3 stories, brick front. The kind with those steep stairs leading up to the door that ice over in winter and make you feel like you're one wrong step from a concussion. She's got a tabby cat named Prometheus. Yes, really. Who needs medication twice a day for hyperthyroidism. Little white pills, 2.5 milliliters methimazole, hidden in Fancy Feast Creamy Delights, the tuna flavor, because he won't eat any other kind. My sister's very specific about these things. She and her husband were in Costa Rica. Anniversary trip. 10 years. She left me a laminated instruction sheet. I'm not kidding, laminated. with the Wi-Fi password, the thermostat settings, 68 degrees, never higher. She's neurotic about the gas bill, emergency vet number, where she hides the good bourbon behind the rice cooker, and a note at the bottom that said, "Don't let Prometheus outside." Underlined 3 times. Prometheus had been indoor only for 7 years. After a raccoon incident she still won't fully explain. I was fine with it. My apartment in Silver Spring had a cockroach problem, and my roommate's boyfriend had moved in without asking, so house sitting felt like a vacation. Plus, she has that good Wi-Fi. Verizon Fios, 500 Mbps. I could actually stream without buffering. My plan for New Year's Eve was simple. Order Thai food from that place on Carroll Avenue, the one with the papaya salad that makes your mouth burn in a good way. Watch the ball drop on her 55-inch Samsung, feed Prometheus his 10 p.m. meds, and be asleep by 12:30. I'm not a party person, never have been. The whole forced celebration thing makes my skin crawl. The Thai food arrived at 8:47 p.m. I remember because I checked my phone when the Ring doorbell chimed. Delivery guy left it on the porch. Green curry, spring rolls, that salad. Total came to $34.16 with tip. I brought it inside, unpacked it at the kitchen table. She's got this vintage Formica table, pale yellow with chrome edges, very 50s diner, and I was halfway through the curry when I noticed Prometheus sitting at the bottom of the stairs. Just sitting, staring at the front door. Cats do that. I didn't think anything of it. I finished eating, washed the dishes. Her kitchen faucet has this persistent drip she keeps meaning to fix, 1 drop every 8 seconds or so. I timed it while I was loading the dishwasher, a Bosch 300 series, super quiet. She'd bragged about it when she bought it. I could hear that drip, the hum of the refrigerator, the furnace kicking on. Outside, someone was setting off fireworks early, those bottle rockets that shriek before they pop. I went into the living room, turned on the TV, NBC. They were doing the pre-show coverage, interviews with celebrities in Times Square, everyone in puffy coats with network logos, their breath visible in the cold. The sound was on low. I was scrolling through my phone, Instagram mostly. People posting their New Year's fits, their party setups, countdowns to countdowns. That's when I heard the knocking. 3 knocks, deliberate, evenly spaced, on the front door. I looked up. The TV showed 9:23 p.m. in the corner. Who knocks at 9:23 on New Year's Eve? Prometheus was still at the bottom of the stairs, still staring at the door. His tail was doing that thing where it puffs up slightly, bottle brushed, but he wasn't hissing, just staring. I got up, walked to the door. There's a peephole, one of those wide-angle ones that distorts everything. I looked through it. Nobody there, just the porch, the stairs, the streetlight across Maple Avenue casting that orange sodium vapor glow. A few cars parked on the street. The neighbors' houses with their windows lit, some with Christmas lights still up, the colored kind that blink in patterns. Fireworks, probably. Something hitting the door, or kids playing ding-dong ditch. Though that seemed weird for New Year's Eve. I went back to the couch, sat down, picked up my phone. 3 more knocks. Same rhythm, same deliberate spacing. This time I didn't wait. I went straight to the door, flipped the deadbolt, pulled it open fast, thinking I'd catch whoever it was. Nothing. Nobody. The cold hit me immediately. It had been in the 30s all day, but this felt colder. The kind of cold that goes through your clothes. I stepped out onto the porch, looked left, looked right. The street was empty. Not even a car driving by. I could hear the fireworks in the distance echoing off the houses. But the immediate area was silent in that muffled way snow makes things silent, except there wasn't any snow, just frozen air. I looked down. There were footprints on the porch. Wet. Not muddy, just wet, like someone had stepped in a puddle. They led from the stairs to the door, then they stopped. Right at the threshold. No prints leading away, none going back down the stairs, just 6 footprints, 3 pairs, approaching the door and stopping. I stood there, the cold biting at my face, staring at those prints. The wetness was already starting to evaporate, the edges drying. I crouched down, touched one. My finger came away damp. Clean water, not dirty, not melted snow, just water. I stood up, looked around again, called out, "Hello?" My voice sounded too loud and too small at the same time. No answer, just the distant fireworks, a dog barking somewhere. The normal sounds of a neighborhood on New Year's Eve. I went back inside, locked the door, deadbolt and chain. Prometheus had moved. He was sitting in the dining room now, on one of the chairs, still staring in the direction of the front door. "It's nothing," I told him. "Just kids or something." He didn't react. Cats don't. I went back to the couch, turned up the TV volume, tried to focus on Ryan Seacrest talking to some pop star I didn't recognize. My phone said 9:31 p.m. At 9:38, the knocking started again. Same pattern, 3 knocks. Deliberate, evenly spaced. But this time they were louder, insistent. I didn't move. I sat on the couch, holding my phone, watching the front door like if I stared hard enough I could see through it. The knocking stopped. 10 seconds of silence, then 3 more knocks. Louder still. Prometheus jumped off the chair and ran upstairs. I heard his claws on the hard wood of my sister's bedroom. I grabbed my phone, opened the Ring app. My sister had a video doorbell. I should have checked it first. I pulled up the live feed. Static, just gray static with occasional black lines rolling through it. The app said connecting, but it never connected. I checked the Wi-Fi. Full bars. I closed. It's full. The app reopened it. Same thing. Static. 3 more knocks. These ones shook the door in its frame. I stood up, walked to the kitchen, grabbed the largest knife from the block on the counter, a 10-inch Wusthof chef's knife my sister had gotten as a wedding gift. The handle was cool in my palm. I went back to the living room, stood 6 feet from the door. "Who is it?" My voice cracked. I cleared my throat. "Who's there?" Silence, then, "Happy New Year." A man's voice, flat, no inflection, speaking through the door. "Do I know you?" I said. "Happy New Year," he said again. Same tone, same flatness, like he was reading from a script. Like each word had the same weight. "I think you have the wrong house," I said. Silence. 5 seconds. 10. Then 3 more knocks. But this time they came from the back door, the one in the kitchen that leads to the narrow backyard. I spun around. The kitchen was behind me. I couldn't see the back door from where I stood. I moved into the dining room. From there I could see through the kitchen to the windowed top half of the back door. A figure, standing on the other side, backlit by the neighbor's motion sensor floodlight. Tall, broad shoulders, wearing what looked like a dark coat. I couldn't see a face. The light was behind him, turning him into a silhouette. He raised his hand, knocked 3 times on the glass. Deliberate, evenly spaced. Then he spoke. Same voice, same flatness. "Happy New Year." My grip on the knife tightened. "Get away from my house," I shouted. "I'm calling the police." I pulled out my phone, unlocked it, opened the phone app. My fingers were shaking. I dialed 911. The call connected. 1 ring, 2 rings. A voice answered, 911, what's your emergency? But it wasn't an operator. It was the same voice, the man's voice, flat, inflectionless. Happy New Year, he said through my phone. I hung up, tried again, same thing. 1 ring, 2 rings, then his voice. Happy New Year. I hung up. My hands were shaking so hard I almost dropped the phone. The figure at the back door was still there, still standing. I couldn't tell if he was looking at me or past me or what. The silhouette didn't move. Then the knocking at the front door started again. 3 knocks, then 3 more, then 3 more. Rapid now, a rhythm, like a heartbeat. And the back door, same thing, 3 knocks, 3 more, 3 more. Perfectly synchronized with the front door, I was trapped in the middle. Dining room, knife in one hand, phone in the other. The knocking getting louder, faster, the 2 rhythms overlapping, creating this echoing cascade that made my skull hurt. I ran upstairs. I took the steps 2 at a time, nearly tripping on the runner carpet, beige with a brown diamond pattern. Made it to the 2nd floor. My sister's bedroom was at the front of the house. Guest room at the back. Bathroom in between. I went into the bedroom, slammed the door, locked it. That little push button, that lock that wouldn't stop anyone serious but made me feel fractionally safer. Prometheus was under the bed. I could see his eyes reflecting the street light coming through the window. The knocking had stopped. Suddenly, completely. The house was silent except for that fucking dripping faucet downstairs. Drip. 8 seconds. Drip. I went to the window. My sister's bedroom overlooks Maple Avenue. I pulled the curtain aside just enough to see out. The street was empty. No cars, no people. The street light was still on. The neighbors' houses still had their lights. But nothing was moving. No one walking. No cars driving by. Even the fireworks had stopped. Just silence. Thick. Pressing. Then I saw him. Standing in the middle of the street. Directly in front of the house, under the street light, looking up at me, not looking, staring. His face visible now, white, expressionless, clean-shaven. Dark hair combed neatly to one side. He was wearing a black overcoat, the kind businessmen wore in old movies. His hands were at his sides. He didn't blink, didn't move, just stared. I stepped back from the window, let the curtain fall. My heart was slamming against my ribs. The knife was still in my hand. I realized I was holding it so tight my knuckles were white. I counted to 10, slow, breathing, like you taught me. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Then I looked again. He was closer. Halfway across the street now, still staring up, still not blinking. His mouth opened. I couldn't hear him through the window, but I could see his lips moving, forming the words. Happy New Year. I pulled the curtain shut, backed away from the window until I hit the bed, sat down hard. Prometheus made a small noise under the bed, that chirping sound cats make when they're stressed. My phone buzzed. Text message. Unknown number. Happy New Year. Another buzz, another message, same number. Happy New Year. Again, and again, and again. My phone started vibrating, continuously a stream of texts coming in so fast they blurred together on the screen. All the same message, all from unknown numbers. Different area codes, some international. My phone was heating up in my hand, the battery draining in real time, D4%, 91%, 87%. I turned it off, held the power button until the screen went black. The house was silent. Then I heard the stairs creaking. Someone was coming up, slow, deliberate, One step, pause, another step, pause. I looked at the bedroom door. The push-button lock. I stood up, looked around for something to barricade it with. My sister's dresser was too heavy to move quickly. The chair at her vanity was too light. I grabbed the chair anyway, wedged it under the doorknob at an angle. It wouldn't hold, but it might give me seconds. The footsteps reached the second floor landing, stopped. I heard the bathroom door open, close. The guest room door open, close, methodical, checking each room. Then silence. He was outside the bedroom. He was a door. I knew it. I could feel it. The way you can feel when someone's watching you. The doorknob turned. Slowly. The push-button lock clicked. The door pushed open an inch. 2 inches. The chair scraped against the floor but held. "Happy New Year." His voice, right there on the other side of the door, so close. The door pushed harder. The chair scraped more. I backed up until I hit the window. Nowhere else to go. 3rd floor below me, too high to jump. The door burst open. The chair clattered aside. The knife was in my hand, raised, shaking, but no one was there. The doorway was empty. The hallway beyond was dark. I stood frozen, waiting, listening. Nothing. Then, from downstairs, from the living room, I heard the TV. Volume loud. The ball drop countdown. The crowd in Times Square cheering. Ryan Seacrest shouting, 10, 9, 8. I didn't move. Couldn't move. The countdown continued. 7, 6, 5. The cheering got louder. Deafening. Impossible. My sister's TV couldn't get that loud. The sound was coming from everywhere, from the walls, from inside my head. 4, 3, 2, 1. The lights went out. Every light, street, houses, everything. Complete darkness. Silence. Then, in the dark, in the silence, a single voice. His voice. Right next to my ear. Breath on my neck. Happy New Year. I swung the knife. Hit nothing. Air. I stumbled, fell, hit the floor hard. The knife skittered away. I crawled, found the bed, pulled myself under it next to Prometheus. He was trembling. Or I was. Both of us. The lights came back on, sudden, bright, blinding. I stayed under the bed, waiting, not breathing, waiting. Footsteps. Going back down the stairs. The front door opening, closing. The deadbolt clicking. Then nothing. I don't know how long I stayed under that bed. Long enough for my legs to cramp. Long enough for Prometheus to fall asleep. When I finally crawled out, my phone said 1:47 a.m. I'd turned it back on. It worked normally. No, more texts. I went downstairs. Slowly, knife in hand again. The living room was empty. TV off. The house was normal, quiet. That fucking drip from the kitchen faucet. Everything else silent. I checked the front door. Locked. Chain on. I checked the back door. Locked. Nothing disturbed. I looked out the back window. The yard was empty. The neighbor's motion light was off. I opened the Ring app. The doorbell camera was working now. I scrolled back through the recorded footage. 9:23 p.m., no one at the door, no knocking. 9:38 p.m., no one, no figure. 9:41 p.m., nothing. The timestamps were there, but the videos showed an empty porch, an empty street. I checked the call log, 2 calls to 911 at 9:42 p.m., both showing as call failed. Not answered by anyone, just failed. I sat on the couch until sunrise. Didn't sleep. Couldn't. Prometheus eventually came downstairs and ate his food like nothing had happened. I gave him his medication. He took it fine. At 7 a.m., I texted my sister, "Hey, something weird happened last night. Can you call me when you get this?" She called at 9 a.m. groggy time zones. I told her someone had been trying to break in. I left out the details. The voice. The impossible things. Just said someone was knocking. I called the cops. They must have scared him off. She panicked, asked if I was okay, if Prometheus was okay, if anything was damaged. I said, no, everything's fine. She said she'd call the Tacoma Park police, file a report. I told her not to bother. Nothing was taken, no damage, just some weirdo. She asked if I wanted to leave, come home. I said no, I'd stay, finish the week. She made me promise to keep the doors locked. Set the alarm she'd forgotten to mention she had, code 4729, she said. It's the last 4 of her phone number. I set the alarm. I stayed. But I didn't sleep, not really. Every noise, every creak. I was up, knife close, phone charged, watching the Ring app. Nothing ever appeared. No more knocking, no more messages, nothing. My sister came back January 4th. I told her everything was fine. Prometheus was fine. House was fine. She gave me a bottle of Flor de Caña rum from Costa Rica as a thank you. I haven't opened it. I've been back in my apartment since the 5th. Cockroaches and all. My roommate's boyfriend moved out, actually. Something about a fight. I didn't ask. I've been trying to function, trying to work. I do data entry for a nonprofit, boring stuff. I can work remote, but I keep losing focus. I keep checking my phone, waiting for those messages. They haven't come. My call log is normal. The 911 calls that failed don't show up anymore. I've checked a dozen times. It's like they were never there. I tried to find news reports, searched for break-ins in Tacoma Park on New Year's Eve, found nothing. Searched for weird occurrences, found the usual: fireworks complaints, drunk and disorderlies, 1 car accident. Nothing about a man knocking on doors. Nothing about anyone else experiencing what I experienced. I called the Tacoma Park police anyway, non-emergency line, asked if there had been any reports of suspicious activity on Maple Avenue on New Year's Eve. The dispatcher checked, said no, said it was a quiet night. I asked if anyone else had called about someone knocking on doors. She said no, asked if I wanted to file a report. I said no. She said, have a nice day. I've rewatched the Ring footage 100 times, exported the files, watched them on my computer, frame by frame. There's nothing. The timestamps don't lie. 9:23, 9:38, 9:41. Empty porch. Every time. But I heard the knocking. I saw the footprints. I saw him in the street. I've tried to rationalize it. Carbon monoxide, but my sister's detectors work. I checked. Sleep deprivation, but I wasn't tired that night. Some kind of mass hallucination. But I was alone. Pranks, deep fakes, something explainable, but none of it fits. The worst part isn't even the night itself. It's what happened 2 days ago. I was at the Giant on University Boulevard. Grocery shopping. Normal. I was in the cereal aisle trying to decide between brands, and I heard it. Behind me, that voice. Happy New Year. I spun around. There was a man, white, maybe 45, dark hair, neat, wearing a black North Face jacket. Not the same coat from that night, but close enough. He was looking at me, smiling, normal smile. Not the flat expression. He was holding a box of Cheerios. Sorry, he said. Didn't mean to startle you. Just thought I recognized you from somewhere. Did you go to Maryland? I couldn't speak. I just stared. He stared back. His smile faded. You okay? He said. I dropped my basket, walked away, fast, left the store, sat in my car shaking for 20 minutes before I could drive home. It wasn't him, I know that logically. Different face, different build. Just someone being friendly, but the voice, the words. Happy New Year. It was too close, too similar. And the way he looked at me, like he knew, like he remembered. I still check the Ring app every day. My sister